And welcome to Nancy's Neighborhood. As you can see in the window behind me, it's a little bit dreary today in Nancy's Neighborhood. I really wish it would make up its mind whether it's going to be winter or spring, and let's just get this all over with because it's not nice out there today. Rainy, cold, and it actually feels like winter. And here we are in February, so it probably should feel like winter. And I hope you all had a better weekend than I did. The Vols lost, the Lady Vols lost, and the Atlanta Falcons lost. So pretty much a wasted weekend for me, other than the fact that I did get to rest and I did have breakfast with the Ruritans at McDonald's Saturday morning. First Saturday of every month, they have the best breakfast down there, folks, and it's just $6, and it's great, and it's at their clubhouse, and a lot of great people are there, and you meet a lot of people, and you get to talk a lot, and you get to eat really good. So it's been one of those weekends, folks. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's happening right now. There's a lot of things happening in Cleveland, Bradley County, and even some things in Athens. So I've told you before, we are Charter 5, but we're Comcast 210, and then we actually are on Rabbit Ears on 27.1. So we want to be sure we include as many people as we can in our broadcast and in our announcements. And I will tell you that last weekend I was in Dayton, and I flipped to Channel 5 Charter, and I did see that we're on there on Charter. So, you know, we want to be sure we get our surrounding areas and tell about things that are happening. So if you've got anything that's happening, you can email me at ncason@theredribbon.us and tell me you have something coming up. Or if you want to be on the show with me, just let me know. And 473-1114, and we'll try to get you on to talk about whatever the event is you have coming up. Now let's talk about the library just a little bit. February is Loving My Library Month, and if you love your library, they'd like for you to put down in words how you love it and drop it in a box they've got there because they kind of want to publish some of these things that their patrons are saying about the library. February STEAM is this Thursday, and it's for teens, and that's ages 13 to 17, and tweens, ages 6 to 12. It's at 4:30 this week, and they'll be creating love potions by experimenting with different liquids and their different densities. So for more information on that, Teen Zone at clevelandlibrary.org. Now the 27th of February, and I'll get a little more information about this, the field of forensic anthropology will be discussed, along with the works of fiction by Jefferson Bass and Kathy Reich. And I don't know whether Jefferson Bass is Dr. Bass from the Bone Field at the University of Tennessee. If so, that would be extremely interesting. And Kathy Reich, if you've ever watched the show on TV, Bones, all those shows are based on the books that she has written. So that should be very, very good. That's February 27th, and I'll get you more details on that. Now we have story times, different story times at the library. The little ones, 0 to 3, have wiggle worms on Mondays at 3 o'clock, and then baby bookworms on Thursday at 10:30 and at 1, and the preschoolers on Tuesdays and Fridays at 10:30, and then family time on Saturday at 2 o'clock. Now, for those of you who want to exercise at 8 o'clock in the morning, me not being one of them, they do have free Zumba classes Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at the library. 8 o'clock in the morning is just, now years ago if 8 o'clock on the tennis court would have been okay, but 8 o'clock to exercise, no. Now we have city community meetings that are going on right now, and that's for city districts. So if I call off a district, don't think I'm talking about county districts. City districts, Joe Fivas wants to know what you in your neighborhood, your district in the city, want to see what's happening. District 4 will be Tuesday at February 7th at 6:30 at the Legacy Senior Living Center at 2235 Candies Lane. And then District 5 will be February the 9th at 6:30 at Cleveland High School Library, and that's on Raider Drive. And then the General Forum, which is going to be the outcome of all of the district meetings that have been held, will be Wednesday, February the 15th, that's the day after Valentine's, at 3 o'clock at the Museum Center. So those of you that live inside the city, or those of you that work inside the city, or those of you that own property inside the city and may not live inside the city, but have an interest in what's going on, may want to attend the General Forum on February the 15th. Excuse me. Now we have the Daddy-Daughter Dance on Saturday, February the 11th at First United Methodist in Cleveland, and it's sponsored by the Cleveland Masonic Lodge and Harmony number 143 of the Order of the Eastern Star. And tickets are $25 a couple, and $5 a couple is a dad and his daughter, and $5 for any extra daughters you want to bring along. Now, the dance will be from 5 to 8, and for more information, write this down, daddy daughters, 479-8840 or 584-0567. Those are 2 numbers to call. Now, this should be interesting because those of you that have studied Shakespeare probably think, very dull. What can I say about it? And so, but I saw on Broadway Something Rotten, which was a takeoff of Shakespeare, and it was hysterical. So this is Love's Labour's Lost, and it is a comedy by Shakespeare, and it's going to be presented at the Lee Theater, is presenting at the Buzz Oates Theater, and that's in the Communications Arts Building, which is right there on Central Avenue. It's that pretty building that sits there on the corner. Now, that's a black box theater, folks, so it doesn't seat. Well, it kind of depends on how they want to arrange the staging, and I don't know how they're going to do that. Maybe max 150 people. So February 10th and 11th, and then 16th through 18th. And the tickets are $10 for adults and $7 for children. And they do recommend that you don't bring children under age 12. And I agree with them, folks, because, you know, if you're enjoying something and a 6-year-old is bored to death with the play, it pretty much ruins everybody, including mom and dad's evenings. So 12 and up, and those tickets are $7 or $10 for adults. Now, you can get more information by emailing theatre, Theatre, at leeuniversity.edu. And I don't know how many of you out there play rook. I played years and years and years ago. Probably, I would recognize the deck of rook cards now, but that's about the extent. But the 2nd annual Jute Miller Classic Rook Tournament, sponsored by the Kiwanis Club, will be February the 11th. That's a Saturday, at the Elks Lodge in downtown Cleveland. So to register, you need to contact Jeff Miller at 479-5555. That's pretty easy, folks, 479-5555. Or you can go to jmillerlaw@aol.com. And all of the proceeds from this is a fundraiser for the Kiwanis Club, and this goes to the Community Service Foundation for their youth programs. I got Joy Key coming on in just a few minutes, and she's going to talk about the brouhaha at the museum, so I won't go into that. Now, those of you who have been Atlanta Braves fans for as long as I have, or longer, and that's okay, Walker Valley Baseball Hall of Fame and First Pitch Banquet will be Sunday, February the 12th at noon, and the tickets for the event are $15, and lunch carryout is $12, and all the proceeds are going to go to the 2017 Mustang baseball program. But here's the thing. Otis Nixon, who's a former Atlanta Brave, and my mother was a tremendous Braves fan, and sometimes I had to watch the Braves games with her. And I remember Otis Nixon leaping up above the fence in the outfield once and bringing down a ball that should have been a home run, but wasn't. And also John Rocker is going to be there, so this should be an entertaining event. Otis Nixon and John Rocker. For more information, you can contact Joe Shamlin at 364-6951. Now, on Monday the 13th, we have Patachi and Cohort at Lee's Performing Arts Center at Lee's Performing Arts Series at 7:30 at the Dixon Center. I think this may be jazz, but don't go there expecting it to be jazz and say Nancy said it was, because it may not be, but both of these people are jazz performers, so I'm going to assume it's jazz. Complimentary tickets, but like anything else that happens at Lee that's a complimentary ticket, you still need to call and reserve your tickets. Dixon Center will seat quite a few people, but they want to be sure that they don't overseat. 614-8343, and then the box office at the Dixon Center is open from 3 to 6 on weekdays. And there will be any remaining tickets will be available at the Dixon Center 1 hour before the event, but you may not want to go stand in line and there not be a ticket, okay? And then the Chamber Strings are going to do their annual Be My Valentine concert on Tuesday, February 14th at Pangle Hall, and that is the old First Baptist Building downtown, and it'll be at 7:30. And this concert is free, non-ticketed, and open to the public. And then after that, after the concert, you're invited to a reception at the Arts Communication Building, which is just right across the street. And the Rotary Club of Cleveland presents a Night at the Oscars annual foundation fundraiser on Friday, February 17th at 6 o'clock at the Museum Center. And the tickets are $135 each. And you can contact Tanya Mazzolini if you are interested at 284-9111. And I hope to get Tanya on before then to talk to us about this, because they do some tremendous work with their money they raise at these events. Now, any of you all who want to be actors and actresses, Athens Community Theater has auditions for John Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men, and that'll be held the 27th and 28th of February at 6:30 at the Arts Center in Athens, which is there on North White Street. Now, the cast requires 9 men and 1 woman, and if you're interested, 745-8781. Steinbeck is not one of my favorite authors, but Of Mice and Men that's kind of heavy stuff, folks. So if you're interested in really doing some acting, you might want to do that. They still have shades going on there in Athens. The Charlie Newton exhibit is still there. The museum still has Grown and Bred in East Tennessee going on, and I'm sure that Joy will talk to us about that. And now the Ocoee Theater Guild is going to sponsor an original comedy at the venue at Creekside. Venue at Creekside is what used to be the old Village Theater down behind the Village Mall, which is right downtown. I think it was Minsky's, something. There was a yogurt place there for a while. But it's one less than 3U. February 10th through the 11th and 17th and 18th at 7:30. And you can purchase tickets online at ocoeetheaterguild.com or at the door before each performance. Or if you have a question, 462-8896. And Athens Community Theater is going to present their winter musical, Willy Wonka, on February 6th through the 16th. So it starts today, folks. The performances, it does not start today. It starts 16th. Performances the 16th, 17th, 18th, 23, 24, and 25 at 7 o'clock. And then they're going to have matinees on the 19th and 26th at 2 o'clock. And tickets are available online at athensartcouncil.org or by phone 423-745-8781. Or you can go by there and buy your ticket. United Way is doing an evening at Chanticleer on April the 7th, and this is a fundraiser for Women United program of United Way. Ashlyn Morlock's in charge of that, 716-5725, or you can email her at ashlynmorlock@unitedwayocoee.org. And one other little announcement I have is about Cherry's Jubilee. On the 9th, which is Thursday, we will have our first furniture giveaway, and it will be at the storage unit there on Inman Street that used to be Lamb's Furniture. So if you're interested from 3 to 5:30 in picking up a piece of furniture, decorating it, and donating it back to us, meet us there at that time. And then let me remind you that the Tucker Foundation is going to give the library $125,000 if the community will match these funds. And Andrew was on with us and we talked about that. They're trying to renovate the upstairs of the history unit of the library so they can move the Cleveland Bradley Education Foundation up there. So if you would like to make a donation, just contact the library and tell them what you'd like to donate. And it's like Andrew said the other day in our last program, you don't have to write the check for the full amount. You can make a donation, make a pledge, and then they'll divide it 3, 4, however you need to do it. So I hope you will consider doing that. So basically that's our announcements for today, and we do have 2 guests that are going to come up and talk to us about upcoming events that I hope you will participate in and be interested in at least hearing about and supporting. So we're going to take a little commercial break here, and as I always say, folks, watch our commercials and support our advertisers because they pay our bills. So don't go away. We'll be right back in just a few minutes.